Alright, so this is going to be one of the longer videos I probably made. Just going to go ahead and put this disclaimer out there that there's nothing that's going to go on worth watching. I'm just going to be doing baked pie in the background and talking over it, so if you just want to minimize it, do whatever. But yeah, I have this video broken up into 3 sections within the video, not 3 different videos. And I'm going to focus on what I'm doing skilling-wise, obviously sailing, passing the pole, and the impact I see that having for me, and then just the community as a whole. And then the third thing, just kind of being the state of the game, I guess. Just kind of like my own personal opinions. So yeah, first thing I'm going to address is where I'm at. My goals this month were 150 mil cooking, which I did hit today, and then 50 mil smithing, which I probably will not hit this month. I did sell a million gold ore I had. And the reason I did that is because I think I had 50 mil. I think I had a little over 100 mil purchased in XP. I would rather do it in batches. For instance, like I think I'm just gonna go for 50 mil and then move on to another skill. So I could probably have that. I'll have that within a week and a half, 2 weeks probably. And I could even finish it this week if I really get lucky with time. But just sometimes real life obligations take a lot more time than I expect, and so I don't get to play as much, but that's just part of it. But yeah, so next I think I'm gonna go for agility. I'm currently at 14.4 mil. I really enjoy sepulcher, so I would really like to do that a lot. I think I'm gonna go for 25 mil. 50 is a pretty good stretch. That's a lot longer of a grind to do at one time. But nonetheless, I enjoy agility, so I actually look forward to doing sepulcher. After that, or in the middle of that, I might take breaks, etc. I'm planning on doing fire making. I'm still gonna work on cooking till I get it done. You know, just intermittently as I get time, or if I need to do something that's more AFK one night or during the day or something of that nature. After cooking, I'm definitely gonna move on to wood cutting still. That still hasn't changed whatsoever. I still would like to do that next. I mean, I don't have the beaver pet yet, so I need to get that. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. That's where my goals are. I think that's pretty much has the rest of this year covered. I mean, I imagine agility will probably take up quite a bit of time throughout the rest of this year, and then we can start fresh next year. Maybe try to get a 200 mil in 1 year from nothing. So I mean, I got plenty of skills to pick from. So I mean, all of them, exception of pretty much cooking. So yeah, that's where I'm at in the game skill-wise. But I want to move on to discussing some sailing. So, personal opinion, I don't think that there was any way that they were going to allow this poll to fail. I think it should have been its own poll. I think it was pretty shitty that it was stuck at like question number 6 in a poll that had a lot of other decent content in it that was being polled. I think this is such a large update. That should have been its own poll, and they should have, they should have hold other things to go along with it that were related to this skill, not necessarily a new expansion into the game. But yeah, but that being said, and again, I'm speaking from my personal opinion. No, I don't like speaking on behalf of the entire, I guess, community or group. This is just my opinion. I think sailing should have failed, and the threshold for a passing poll was lowered to 70%. Whenever it was 75%, I think around a year ago. Sailing pass at 71.9. So it should have failed in theory, but I get it. The game changed. They lowered the threshold. There's nothing we can do about it. That's just the way it is. I think that they could have done a better job explaining it. That could have helped it get to 75. I voted no. I think I already addressed that. I think that's pretty clear. I still to this day haven't seen the training loop, and that's the biggest concern for me is how I'm going to train it. I do look forward to it because it'll be new content. It'll really expand the game to that point. But I think that the way they have introduced this and the way they're polling it is kind of giving a bad taste in the mouths of many players, and that makes them not as inclined to be supportive of it. But with that being said, I think the high scores are at risk now. There's a lot of good players who worked for their ranks, and they will lose them. I think there has to be some sort of preservation or grace period for them to keep their rank or earn it. People can disagree with me, but I mean that's my opinion on it. That's just the way I see it. Other people are, some second pagers are probably going to be huge on this because it gives them a lot of potential to reach that first page. Which, I mean, hey, if that's what you're going for, then man, more props to you. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you no, but or fight against you with it. But I think that those everybody who's on the top page deserve their rank because they spent the time to get it, and that's just my own opinion. Um, but I think it really hits harder on a game integrity. I'm not gonna take to Twitter telling everybody I'm gonna quit the game, or any of that bullshit. I'm still gonna play the game. I'm gonna figure out the skill. Uh, I don't. I really don't have any idea how it's gonna be trained. Like I said, that's the biggest thing for me is I don't have the faith in Jagex to make a new skill after seeing some of the other stuff. I mean, that's just where it sits at with me. I like the game, love the game. I played for nearly 15 years, if not 15 years at this point. It's consumed a lot of time for me, a lot of dedication over the years. Spent a lot of time enjoying it, having fun, making new friends, watching streams, you name it. I've really enjoyed the game and I still do. I mean, like I said, I was doing a lot of PVM goals prior to going into more heavy skilling, and I found so much more satisfaction and enjoyment with doing skilling. So, I gotta take a drink here. Sorry, I've been rambling really good. But yeah, I will say this though. I did hear that Jagex Husky or Mod Husky's making the skill, and I know that he made the Trailblazers, I believe. So that gives me a decent amount of confidence in their ability to make, in his ability to make a good skill because the Trailblazers was a really good content actually. I played briefly, but I just really enjoyed seeing other people play it and like how it progressed, and I think that was a really good game mode. I think that with if he can create that same sense of quality, I guess you could say that was put into Trailblazers, that sailing has a lot of potential to be a really good skill. But like I said, I don't. That's the extent that I have faith in it at this moment. Is that I knew he made that, and I'm gonna, I guess, go with it that he could potentially make this just as good. So, but yeah, and this is probably gonna be the last section of the video. My only fear with sailing, or my biggest fear, is the impact that it has on the game. Not necessarily like what the skill is, but just the impact of any skill or any large scale change. Whenever they added EOC into RS3, in my opinion, it completely ruined the game. And I think a massive amount actually quit the game because of that skill or because of that update. I know I did. That was truly the one thing that really kind of sent me over the edge. I had played RuneScape for many years at that point, and when that came out, I was completely disappointed. Pretty much hated the game at that point because of that update. And I don't think that the player base has ever went back to that game the way they used to. I've tried it here and there, and I have not felt the same, not changed my mind on how I feel about the game. I mean, if this says anything about it, and this is numbers I just got. So as of August 27th at 2:30 Central Time, there's 179,742 players online. That's what the RuneScape official site says. The old school site says 141,016 players online. So that means that there's only 38,726 players on RS3. So essentially, the flagship game is failing, and the pre-EOC edition is thriving. I would pretty much compare that to a slap in the face. That the flagship game that is supposed to be, the new game, high graphics, all these added skills, it's crashing. I mean, 38,000 people online. I mean, that's not even, I think if old school had that player base online at any given time for a regular period of time, that they would probably close down the servers. I truly think so, because I mean, I would consider that a dying game. Because I mean, yeah, I mean, in like last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure. I think they had a new skill called necromancy come out. I think, and I already saw last week where people had already hit 200 mil again on it. I mean, I don't in a week and a half. I mean, okay, but that just doesn't. I don't know. That doesn't sit right with me because I mean, there's no. I guess I enjoy the long grind, the dedication, the many hours of monotonous bullshit. You know, I mean, I think that's just the way it is. I mean, I play this game because I thoroughly enjoy it. I've always enjoyed it. You know, I've played Call of Duty and Battlefield and WoW and League and other games, but I always come back to RuneScape every time. It doesn't really make sense, but I guess I enjoy the game that much that I always come back to it. You know, they say you never really quit. You just take small breaks, which that's really the truest thing that can be said about this game. The player base just seems to always come back. Few people rarely ever quit entirely. But yeah, like I said, this is gonna be one of my longer videos. And I stated this at the end of the last video. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody who watches me. I don't make these for anything monetary to impress anyone. I really just make these because I enjoy it. I always wanted to make videos as a kid. I watched YouTube many hours of people I thought were really cool, like back in the day. I mean, like Silent Core, Spark Mac, you know, people like that used to make videos, and I always thought that was the coolest thing, and I never got to do it. So, but here I am making them now, and you know, mine may just be rambles, but it's what I enjoy doing, and I know there's some people that enjoy listening to stuff like this, just people talking about the game from a different perspective other than theirs, or it may be a viewpoint that they haven't heard before. But yeah, nonetheless, I appreciate you watching, and have a good day.